Hey everyone, hope you're doing great. In this video, I would like to tell you what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I embraced a new coding experience, and it was quite an interesting journey. So this one is about what new things I learned, what I actually was doing, and yeah, I just talk about my experiences, I guess. So I hope you have an amazing time, and let's get to it. All right, so there is one popular startup across France, which is quite popular and famous a bit, which is new. And honestly, I'm very interested in what they do and quite passionate about the idea. So I spend a lot of time sometimes on their documentation when I'm in metro and stuff like this. So yeah, just to get an idea how's everything going. So I noticed that they don't have they have only one SDK, which is written in JavaScript and which serves pretty much as an NPM package. And yeah, to make it using Dust API easier. So you can access it here. I provide all the links in the description to the company, to the packages and everything. And I saw that they don't have one in Python, and I thought it would be a great way for me to both learn, to provide value to other programmers, and just to honestly just to do something great, which I've never done before. So I decided to build what I can in Python, the SDK, the same SDK but just in Python, and what I can do pretty much on the free tier. So let's get into that because I actually have a minimal viable product, but it's not, of course, finished and it's far from this big, huge work. I just started not so long ago, but still it's a progress and it's really interesting to work on it. So that's why I decided to create a video and to share how is it going, basically. All right, so let's get to that. Basically, here I will just briefly go through files, explain some things and what I learned on the way and some inconsistencies. Not also what I learned as a programmer, but mostly like that there are some also inconsistencies with the documentation, some things that I run into, like my experience basically. All right, so pretty much easy. Just create a class, and inside this class, I have a bunch of methods that are methods from here. So as you can see, for example, conversations, let's see, you have a load of methods here. So that's the whole thing. I do this exact functionality just in Python using their documentation. That's it. So methods, bunch of methods inside of a class. Now, things that I run into that was not really problematic, but interesting and a new experience where you have to debug and like, oh, what's happening, what's wrong. Now, the first thing that when you use my package, obviously you have to when you use the library, obviously you have to provide the API key that you're gonna create. Workspace ID under what you're working is gonna be a string like of some, for example, 123 WXYZ, something like this, and a base URL. Now, the base URL, I'm not setting it to a default parameter because you might tell me like, but why didn't you set it to their company? Because they have um, a domain URL and you can just set it up. This is a good question. So I run that. The first issue that I run into was they have two different websites. They have this, pay attention, https://tt, https eu.tt. So two different ones. And this is because this one is for the US and this is one for the EU. And basically the first time when I used, I didn't know about that, and I created an API key and provided a European, like a US one, say for example, right? But I was actually on European one, uh, and the error that the API returned to me was an API key is not valid, basically is invalid, which is not the case because I copied it. It can't be invalid. And so you don't run into this issue. I set it up that it's optional, that it's sorry, not optional, but mandatory, obligatory. So you have to copy it, and yeah, hopefully don't make the same mistake as me, but you can't because you'll just copy 100% correct. Right, right. Yeah, about some things that are interesting here. Well, the first thing that I want to center your attention on is yeah, just this method. So basically here I noticed that some response handling logic for methods, for most methods, are pretty much the same, and instead of repeating 3 lines of code every time that I have to basically these ones, instead of repeating it in every single method, I can just put it in a, you know, in a separate method, so I can call it every time instead of writing it in everyone. Now, to tell you about something interesting. Okay, so here I want to find, okay, so pay attention to this, get tables and list spaces. Honestly, I should call this get spaces as well, probably, but I will think about it because this naming convention is not really great, but it's fine. So these two methods now, so basically, if we see what get tables returns, you're going to see this JSON. If you take a look now at what list spaces method returns, you're going to see this JSON. And this is taken from their documentation. Now, as you can see, there are a little bit of inconsistency across that because this one returns a dictionary, and here you have a key spaces, which has all this information. And here it returns a list of dictionaries. And this inconsistency led me, because I was, as I told you before, here's my method. Yeah, like I always pretty much like I use this method to unparse the JSON, right? Like to get, for example, here you see return, and I get these spaces, but I can do that because it returns dictionary. But here I can't do it because it sorry, because it returns list with dictionary. But here I can't do that because in tables it just returns like this, right? Like I can't, it has a list and then a dictionary, but a different type of that, right? There is no key, there is no key spaces or key something that I can access. So I feel like it's a bit of an inconsistency that can be fixed, but it's not really that big of a problem. I'm just saying that it's something that I run into. Also, this one was an interesting experience. So basically, I had quite a story with this one. Um, Here, from their so here the method on their documentation, it says that, well, in specs they actually provide editors, but from overall like documentation I didn't really understand if this was like obligatory or not obligatory parameter, like mandatory, not mandatory, optional. So I first skipped it, and when I used an API call, it gave me an error saying that I don't have these editors. So then I took the same data type that they provide in their documentation, and I did it again like an API call, and it was different. Like I got an error saying that it's not the type that API expects, right? So it was different. So the documentation, what they say in the documentation was a little bit inconsistent. But it's not, again, like I'm not saying that it's a very huge issue or a problem. No, I'm just saying that this is something that I noticed, something that I learned, and I used it in my program. That's the whole reason behind it. Yeah, so pretty much like this. Now let's go to tests. I don't know if I said it, but I actually also one of the practice that if you develop libraries, you should do, and also that I learned. So obviously, every time you don't want to call an API that's going to cost you credits, to call an API, see the response, what you get, so every time to do that. Instead, you can use, well, in Python, it's called fixtures, and you can use unit tests to cover this part of functionality. So tests is going to take these fixtures, and in fixtures, you have frozen state of JSON, basically, um, that you got just one time, and yeah, you use it always to kind of like sort of compare if what you getting is good in sense of like compared to that, is it something like reliable, you know, is it relatable in a way. So this is the whole idea. And pretty much this is the everything that I do here. I just, for each method that I defined earlier here, I create a certain like unit tests to check. And here, let me show you that everything works. So let's do pytest-v. This is going to run all the unit tests and show which one passed and which one failed. So we can see that everything works, that each test is passed. So it's quite nice. Now, okay, pretty much that's the whole kind of like logic and functionality behind all of that. Fixtures we already saw, but I can show you again. It's just a JSON that you take from yeah, from an API, from a documentation. So something like this. Okay, now the second part like of this video, the last one is gonna be, I will, as I told you, I published it on PyPy. So PyPy is the official, um, like you can say database, or like is official database of all libraries that Python uses in a way. So whenever you use pip install something, this actually is published somewhere here, so you can access it here, like a documentation sort of thing. So the idea is that I'm gonna show you on two projects. On one where I have everything set up, and on the other one is going to be brand new. If you're an engineer and say you're interested, for example, in the thing that I built, or and I will keep building it, and you want to use it, I will show you how to install it and how to use and how you can make your first call, basically, like functionality. All right, so here let's first start with the things where everything is set up. So here I'll just run this file, Python live demo.py. Okay, and yeah, here it is. So here I call a couple of methods. I call two methods, one showing all the agents available in the workspace of Dust. We'll get to it. I will show you everything in a second. It will be much clearer. And the second one is conversation, like related to some workspace, conversation title, and what was the last message of an agent. Now let's go over it so you actually understand what exactly happens. So basically, this is Dust. This is their website. This is their, sorry, yeah, this is their website. This is their product. Now, let's first focus on this method, the one that is that fetches the agents from the workspace. So here I have several agents. Some of them are, most of them honestly are default. All of them are default except this one, lawyer. I just called them completely randomly. So yeah, so it fetches all the published and available to workspace agents. So here you can pretty much see all of them. Oops, on this one, sorry. Like you see, helper, Dust, deep dive, GPT-5, Claude, Mistral, and so on and so on. So pretty much that's everything from here, everything from this, except the lawyer. And as I told you, I always forget how do I edit the agent. Okay, this is it. Yeah, so now, as you can see, this agent is unpublished because I have this setting here. So it's not visible and it's not usable by all the members in the workspace. And yeah, by the way, I'm not going to explain what they do, what the company does in this video, so you can take a look in your free time and understand. Yeah, so and now I'm going to change it to published. I'm going to save. So now it's going to be usable by all the members and everybody in the workspace. So now it's published. And if I run again my file, live demo, Now it will fetch me, as you can see, 11, not 10, 11. Here it was 10, and here it's 11. And now, what was the last one? Like the one that got added? Lawyer, this one. So this is the proof that everything works for this exact method. And yeah, now let's get to the second one. The second one is conversation title and the last message of an agent. So basically, I have this conversation. Okay, wait, get me out of here. Okay. Um, so yeah, this is in Russian. I'm sorry. This says test hi message, like a greeting, test greeting message. So basically, I'm gonna, yeah, as you can see, it fetches right now the last agent's message, which is kind of true. Like, I'm doing great, thanks for asking, ready to help with whatever you need. What's on your mind today? Which is exactly this one. And as you can see, well, yeah, it's in Russian in our Kyrillic alphabet, but it's the same here as well. So, okay, let's ask him something else. I don't know, like, I don't know, just some placeholder. Was the day good or something? I don't know. So his reply is going to be different, and we see if, okay, of course he's going to answer as an AI, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I run the file, if I run the live demo file again, you can see that the last message is different because this is his last message, and it's exactly as this. So this means that the Python thing that I built, the method that I built, this exact method that I built in Python works, which is nice. So now let's go to another file. And here, the only thing that I did, I created a virtual environment in Python. If you don't know how to create a virtual environment, look it up. But basically, it's just two commands. And yeah, but this is quite an interesting topic, and you should know it. So yeah, I just only created the virtual environment and .env file where I keep my API key and everything, so I don't, yeah, so I can access it. So here I'm gonna show you what you have to do if you want to install the library. So come to the website, the links will be in the description. So copy the command. I'm gonna go here. And by the way, just to show you that this is not gonna work, because maybe I'm lying to you and actually I installed everything, and yeah. So I will try to run and it will give me an error. So as you can see, from Dust SDK client, import Dust client, module not found. And as you can see, this is yellow because, well, the Python says, I don't know what this is. Please install this package. Let's install it. Pip install library. So now it's going to install and be in this virtual environment, meaning that every time I run the environment and activate the scripts inside of it, it's going to have all the libraries, all the packages up to date, and not up to date, but installed so I can use them. Okay, so now I installed the package. As you can see, this is not yellow anymore, and I'm gonna run the same. Once I can just do like this. Yeah, and as you can see here, I get yeah, pretty much the same two. I'm using the same two methods. The agents from the workspace, as you can see, it's the exact previous ones that we got in this file when I run it, and the last message as I showed you in the previous thing. So this is an unofficial library for the SDK in Python for Dust API, and as you can see, it works. So it's pretty cool. I will keep on building, and also one thing that I wanted to say, and I think I forgot. So basically, I can, of course, there are a lot of methods that I have to still cover from their API, but not everything is possible for me to cover because there are two banks of credits. One is so-called basically the web interface credits. So whenever you go and I write something here and I ask him, I get charged credits from one bank. This is called, I think, just normal credits or something like this. But like it's from one bank. And this, the second one is basically when you want to call a model from your code, but the model has to do something, like it has to waste credits, it has to use it. Um, it will be from another bank of credits. And the thing is, I'm on the free tier, and I couldn't figure out, and I think honestly it's impossible to call that on the free tier. You can only do it if you have a paid version. So I can only, for now, access and create methods that don't use the model. I mean, they can use the model, of course. I can create a new like agent, but if I have to actually use the model and write something in the chat or something like this, it's gonna be impossible because I'm on the free version. So I'm gonna focus on keep on bringing this functionality. And yeah, I hope to make some progress on that, and maybe I'll make a second video explaining what I've done, what I learned, and yeah, I hope it was fine. Hopefully, maybe you learned something new, and yeah, let me know. And yeah, have a great day, and I hope this video was interesting for you. And thanks for watching as usual, and have a great day.